Hi everybody, this is Coach McCurry from Baseball by the Yard. Today's video tip is for infielders who have to underhand the ball to their teammate. Now you mostly see this with middle infielders who are starting to turn double play. Sometimes you'll see it from pitchers who field a bunt and underhand the ball to the first baseman, or a first baseman who underhands the ball to the pitcher covering first base. So there's a lot of people in the infield who could use this, but typically you're going to see this on double play feeds. I wanted to give two very important tips. Now you would think that just underhanding a ball to a teammate would be very easy. But in fact, the other night I was watching a baseball game and a major league pitcher got a ball hit back to him. He jogged to first, attempted an underhand throw to first base, and threw it about 10 feet over the first baseman's head. So even at that level, they are going to make mistakes. So I'm going to show you two big tips that I tell my players on how to basically make an underhand toss to a teammate. The first one involves what I call the handshake. The second one involves getting your glove out of the way, which is more so for pitchers covering first base and double play feet. So I'll start with the handshake. Whenever you are underhanding a ball to a teammate, you want to pretend that you're going to shake his hand after you let go of the ball. So if I catch a ground ball as a shortstop and I'm going to turn a double play to where the camera is, I'm going to catch, I'm going to underhand the ball, and I'm going to keep my hand parallel to the ground, keep my arm parallel to the ground with my hand in a position as if I'm going to shake my fielder's hand. So I catch, I underhand, I let go of the ball, and I continue moving as if I'm going to shake his hand. Now the reason why that's beneficial is because if my hand stops below parallel, the ball is going to tend to go into the ground. I'm going to try to hit his shins with the ball, which is not good. If my hand comes above parallel, then I tend to have too big of an arc, which is what the pitcher did the other night when he threw it over the first baseman's head. Instead of keeping his hand stretched out like this, he had his hand up here, and the ball, of course, went up. So the first tip is shake your fielder's hand, and that means extending your hand out and your arm is parallel to the ground. That is generally going to give your teammate a nice chest-high feed, firm throw without any big arc on it, which might get him hurt, or you might throw it over his head, as the case that I mentioned before. The second tip is getting your glove out of the way. Now, one of the problems with turning a double play, particularly for a second baseman, is he's got a lot to worry about. He's got his footwork around the bag, and of course, he's all doing this knowing that the runner is coming at him. And he doesn't see where the runner is for the most part. He may hear him, he may feel him, but he doesn't see him because the second baseman is going to be focusing on the shortstop, and he's not going to be able to really see the runner. So the point is, he's got a lot to worry about. You don't want him to have to worry about where the ball is coming from. So here's the dilemma. If I'm a shortstop, I will see a lot of young kids when they do an underhand toss, is they will toss the ball and basically their glove at their teammate. So they will catch a ground ball and they will underhand the ball like this. So the ball and their glove goes to their teammate. And of course, if I'm hiding the ball behind the glove, it's harder for their teammate to figure out where the ball's coming from, what the speed is going to be, and it hurts their ability to make any adjustments. So the second tip I give my middle infielders is make sure you get the glove out of the way before you make your toss. So you'll see this a lot with major leaguers. It's a little thing that you may not even notice, but it means a big thing, particularly if you're the second baseman. So in this case, to get rid of the glove, I will field the ball, hide the glove or put it on my hip, and then make the underhand toss. Just getting that glove out of the way gives my teammate a clear view of where the ball is, and he's able to see that whole path of the ball coming up towards him. So again, an underhand toss should be a very simple thing, should be an easy out, but of course, if you coach long enough, you always know that that is not always the case. So, two tips: handshake parallel to the ground after you let go of the ball, and get the glove out of the way before you underhand that ball. Give that other teammate a very good, clear view of the ball. So those are my tips for today about the underhand toss. Practice it, and it should be an easy out. And if you do those two tips, it probably will be. Well, I'm Coach McCurry signing off, everybody. Have a great day.